Hello everyone, I welcome you to this biology class, and I'm going to be talking about the liver in this video. As you know, I'm discussing a series. The first I talk about the liver, a series on homeostasis. The first I talk about the kidney, and in this second series I'm going to be talking about the liver. Okay, so let's just quickly dive into the study. The liver is the largest organ in the body, and usually located in the right side of the upper end of the abdomen. As you can see, the picture of the liver is a reddish brown organ, and contain 4 lobes. This is the first lobe, this is the second lobe. The first and second lobe are prominent, but the third and fourth lobes are not very prominent. They usually lie behind the first lobe. This is one of them, lying behind the right lobe. The other one is a quadrate lobe. Okay, so basically the 4 lobes, they are usually also divided into units of lobes called lobules. Okay, so now let me quickly tell you some facts about the liver. I've said it. Number one is that it is the largest organ in the body. Largest solid organ in the body. Number two is a reddish brown and well vascularized organ. As you can see here, it's reddish brown and it's vascularized. What do you mean by vascularized? That means it's well supplied with blood, and then it's also very spongy in texture. That means it's soft. Okay, the liver is also a spongy organ. Then the liver can regenerate itself. That's another fact about the liver. What does it mean by regenerating itself? It means if a part of the liver is removed because of infection, the liver can grow again by itself, can regenerate itself. We talk about that more. We'll talk more on that shortly. Then the blood also enters the liver through the portal vein. Okay, we have 2 different vessels bringing blood to the liver. We have the hepatic. Okay, we have the hepatic artery, and then you have the hepatic portal vein. Okay, the hepatic artery brings oxygenated blood from the circulatory system into the liver, while the hepatic portal vein, brings blood from the intestine, bring blood that contains nutrients from the intestine to the liver. Important fact about the liver you need to be familiar with. Let's quickly dive into functions of the liver. The liver is an organ you can call a jack of all trades. Does a lot of organ in a lot of functions in the body, from control of glucose level to maintaining metabolism, liver storage of organ, formation of red blood cell, help in detoxification, producing prothrombin and some other protein, removing lactic acid, manufacturing bile, and also producing heat. So let's talk about these functions one after the other. When we talk about control of glucose level, the liver actually store excess glucose in the body in the form of glycogen. Okay, in the form of glycogen. So when the glucose level of the body is very high, the pancreas release insulin. The insulin convert the excess glucose to glycogen. The glycogen is stored in the liver, and when eventually the body is in need of the glucose, maybe for example when you are fasting for a long time, the stored glycogen will be converted back to glucose through another hormone released by the pancreas, which is glucagon. Okay, so that's how the liver help to control the glucose level of the body. Okay, and then the next one is deamination. What is deamination? Deamination simply means breaking down of what? Breaking down of amino acid. Okay, let me just put that this way. When we talk about glucose, the body can store excess glucose in form of glycogen. But in the case of amino acid, the body cannot store amino acid. Why? Because amino acid contains amino group. It contains amino group, okay, and the amino group it contains usually has this toxic substance which is nitrogenous. Okay, the nitrogenous substance is poisonous and cannot be stored in the body. So for that reason, the liver will help to break down the amino group of the amino acid. You know, the amino acid is the end product of protein. Okay, so the liver will help to break down the amino acid, okay, so that the liver will now remove the nitrogenous compound in the amino acid and then convert it to what? Convert it to urea. When it has been converted to urea, it can then be removed, eliminated from the body. I hope that is clear. So that is very important for you to note. So that is how the liver help in deamination. Let's move on to the next one, which is storage of the storage of vitamins. The liver also help to store certain vitamins like the fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and vitamin K. Okay, and then also water soluble vitamin like vitamin B and C. The liver help to store all these vitamins. So the liver also store minerals like the zinc, like copper, like potassium, and so on. Apart from that, next one is that the liver help in formation of red blood cell in fetus and lysis of red blood cell in adults. In fetus, that is the unborn baby, the liver is responsible for the production or formation of the red blood cell. Okay, because fetus don't have a strong bone, so the bone marrow cannot manufacture the blood. So, but in adults, the red blood cell is being manufactured by the bone marrow. Okay, but on the other hand, the lysis or the destruction, when you say lysis, you mean breaking or the destruction of the red blood cells that have completed their life cycle is also done by the liver. It's also done by the liver. Oh, I'm just saying this. This is an error, please. This is a liver, not function of the kidney. Imagine talking about function of the liver, not function of the kidney. Please, this is a this is a mistake. So I've removed that. Okay. So next, I'm talking about how it is involved in detoxification. When you talk about detoxification, that simply means removing toxic substances, breaking down toxic substances in drugs, toxic substances in medicine, in food preservatives and additives. And additives are usually removed by the liver. Then you also have production of prothrombin. Prothrombin is a blood clotting factor. Okay, it's a protein, it's a blood clotting factor, and it is also being produced by the liver. Then it also helps to remove the lactic acid. Usually lactic acid is produced when your body undergo respiration in the absence of oxygen. So lactic acid is produced in the muscle and it is built up in the muscle. So as a result of that, you could have muscle pull or certain kind of pain in those muscles. So basically, the lactic acid produced at such time when respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen will be what is going to be removed by the liver. Then also help in the manufacturing of bile. How does it help to manufacture bile? Most of the toxic substances that are being removed or excreted by the liver are converted to bile plus bilirubin. Bilirubin is usually the useless and toxic breakdown of hemoglobin. You know what hemoglobin is? That's the pigment that helps to carry oxygen. Okay, so when the red blood cell is broken down, the hemoglobin part of it is converted to bilirubin, and that substance is usually very toxic. So it is converted to bile plus other minerals and products of metabolism. So that is how the liver help to manufacture what? To manufacture bile. Now you have a lot of other function that the liver perform. And then lastly, I'm talking about production of heat. So as a result of a whole lot of function performed by the liver, as a result of all these functions that we have mentioned before, the liver is able to generate heat which circulates around the body. I hope you are following. So I'm going to talk about diseases of the liver. When we talk about diseases of the liver, we have jaundice, we have gallstone, we have cirrhosis, we have liver, we have viral hepatitis, and then we have amoebic liver abscess. I'll talk about them one after the other very quickly. The first one is jaundice. When you talk about jaundice, jaundice is usually a disease that is characterized by yellowing of the eyes and skin. As you can see here, yellowing of the eyes and skin characterizes the what is it called now? The that's jaundice, and it results from breakdown of red blood cell. When red blood cell break down excessively, I told you it will produce a bilirubin, that's from hemoglobin. Okay, and hemoglobin, I told you, is a useless substance and it's toxic. Okay, because it's toxic, when it accumulates, when there is increased production of bilirubin, it then circulates in the blood and leads to the yellowing of the eyes and yellowing of the skin. This jaundice could also be caused as a result of malaria infection when the blood cell is broken down excessively. Apart from that, it can also be inherited through the sickle cell anemia, and then a person affected with this disease could be passing out pale stool and then yellow or yellowing of yellow or dark urine, and just like you can also see yellow skin or yellowing of the eyes. The next one is gallstone. Just like we talk about kidney stone, gallstone is also a crystalline growth that is formed within the gallbladder, and that is caused by the accumulation of bicomponent. I told you about the bicomponent. I said they are minerals, they are toxic substances, and they are also the product of hemoglobin. When hemoglobin is broken down, produce bilirubin. So those are substances that accumulate together to form the gallstone, and usually in the presence of a gallstone in the gallbladder will lead to inflammation of the liver. Okay, you can see the stones here, and then the stone eventually blocking the bile duct, that is the vessel through which the bile is supposed to move, or the bile is supposed to pass through. Okay, so it can block the bile duct. Okay, so that is for gallstone. The next one is the cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is usually a disease condition of the liver in which the liver tissue becomes gradually from being soft to being very hard, okay, or fibrous. Okay, you can see the picture of the liver you are looking at here looks soft. Look at what you have here. It looks very rough, hard. Okay, so, and this could be as a result of excessive consumption of alcohol. When a person consume alcohol excessively, it could result in cirrhosis of the liver. I'm still going to talk about some of the effects of the liver diseases. Okay, let me talk about the next one, that is hepatitis. Hepatitis simply means inflammation of the liver. The word hepa is hepa means liver. Titis means what? It means inflammation. So whatever results in inflammation of the liver is called hepatitis. It could be viral infection, that means could be from virus or from bacteria, from fungi, or from parasites. All this will also stop the liver from performing its function. And hepatitis could be A, could be B, could be C, could be D. We have different type of hepatitis. Okay, the next one is amoebic liver abscess. Okay, when we talk about amoebic liver abscess, this usually caused by a species of amoeba that is found in the gut of human, and that is Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica is the species of amoeba found in the in human, and when it gets into the liver through the large intestine, it will eventually produce enzyme that destroy liver tissue and cause the liver tissue to begin to produce abscess. That means to begin to produce a pus. A liver abscess is as a pus filled mass. Okay, so you can see the abscess here. So that is for amoebic liver abscess. Okay, so like I said earlier, what are the manifestations of liver disease? It could result in weakness and tiredness, slight fever, okay, and then jaundice, which is yellowing of the eyes and skin. It could also result in oedema, that's accumulation of fluid in the body, and then also enlarged and tender liver could also result. So quickly, I'm going to talk about remedy. How do you treat liver diseases? Number one is rest. You need rest. Okay. And I said earlier that the liver could regenerate itself. So when the person rests, preferably in bed, it could lead to the regeneration of or the healing of the liver disease. Number two is a nutritious but controlled low fat diet. Then no taking of alcohol, especially in the case of liver cirrhosis. Then the liver could also, the part that is affected could also be removed. Okay, especially when it is gallstone. The gallstone could be removed. Removal of the liver disorder where possible, like when the bile duct is blocked by gallstone. Then liver transplantation is also an option. Okay, so now quickly, how do you care for the liver? You care for the liver by staying off alcohol, by also kicking out bad fats from your diet. Flush out toxins with water. Take enough water. You increase your intake of vitamin B. That will be a good care for your liver. I don't want this video to be very long, so I'm going to stop here. In the next series, I'm going to be talking about hormone. I have a video already on hormone. I'll talk about the brain, and then I'm talking about the skin. Okay, so that is that for now. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please just quickly go to click on the like on the subscribe button, like this video, also share this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and have a good day.